All right, AJ Simmons checking in. I am the founder of Clean Biz Network, and I am also the Cleaning Business GOAT. And I just want to answer your business questions. I've been doing business for a long time. So I'm just going to hop on here. I got a few questions sent to me on Instagram and one of my channels that I have there on Instagram where I answer any questions y'all got about business, right? If you want to join that channel, just look up at AJ Simmons Online. That's my Instagram. And then on that Instagram profile, you'll see I got a channel called, I think, Free Game Business Advice or something like that. But click that channel and join it, and you can ask your questions there as well. Or you can just leave it in the comments below this video on YouTube, all right? So, first question I got, somebody asked, and I got them written down here on this piece of mail. But anyway, first question somebody asked was, how can they go from $5 grand a month to $50K per month? Very simple. And so, first, I'm going to answer it from a cleaning business perspective because I know most of my followers right now are in the cleaning industry. And so you probably asking how to go from $5 grand a month in your cleaning business. So first, from a cleaning business perspective is this. Just offer more. Okay, make more offers. And what I mean by make more offers is you got to submit more proposals. All right, so if you want to make $50,000 per month in contracts, you want to grow by $50,000, and guess what you got to propose to? You got to propose to probably about 500,000, right? Depending on your conversion rate. I'm just assuming it's only 10%. So if you're trying to make 50,000 per month, then you got to propose to 500,000 per month. So it's like, all right, bam, well, how do you propose to that much more in business? Well, you need more walkthroughs. How do you get more walkthroughs? You get more leads. How do you get more leads? Either go to door more, either buy more leads from companies like cleanbiznetwork.com, or you can pick up the phone and cold call more. And so it's like, if you already maxed out at what you're doing with the cold calls and door-to-door and buying leads, you can't do no more than hire somebody else to do it, all right? Hire somebody else to do the walkthroughs if you can't keep up with all the walkthroughs. But bottom line is you just got to put out more output so you can get more inputs, all right? So that's the answer from a cleaning business perspective. In general, if you want to grow your business from $5 grand to 50,000, number one, you got to set the goal, all right? So what I did when I really took my business to the next level and started hitting that 50 grand a month and all of those numbers, what I did was I took a whiteboard, and I would, first off, before I even go to the whiteboard, I actually went to a spreadsheet first. So I went on the spreadsheet, I looked at all of the ways that my company brings in revenue. So if you only got one stream of income in your business, then use that one stream. But go to the spreadsheet, and then you figure out, all right, bam, what's your average income per customer, right? Like, what's the average that you usually make per customer? Then do the math. Okay, so if every customer pays me $1,000 every month and I'm trying to get to 50, then you know you got to get 50 more customers. So you write that down and set a target on how you can get to 50,000 per month. All right, so that's pretty much the goal. So once you write that down and you set that goal and put it in a spreadsheet to calculate for yourself how you can actually get it, and you know that it's attainable, you know you got the manpower to handle it if you get to that point, because if you ain't got the manpower to handle it, then you can't go to that point anyway. So make sure your in a business is actually scalable to get you to 50,000 per month, all right? So once you figure that part out, all of that's together, then what you do is I got a whiteboard and I just make a little bar graph, right? And every single week, I go back and I count how much I made each week for that month. And I just shade it up, shade it up, and shade it up. And by having that bar graph and that visual and I'm chasing towards something, so at the top of the bar graph, I got 50,000. The middle of the bar graph, I got 25. And then I'll put like the third number there and the fourth number there, right? And you just shade up and you're trying to work your way to 50,000. And even if you don't hit that 50, I guarantee you'll go higher than the 5 that you were before because you actually setting the goal. So really just set the goal. And then once you set the goal, figure, all right, bam, how can I get to that goal? Is that goal attainable? What do I need to do it? And like I was saying earlier, whether you got to buy leads, whether you got to do more cold calling, whether you got to go door to door, and whether you got to hire somebody to do outreach for you. But whatever it is, figure out what you got to do. And that's it. That's how you go from 5,000 to 50,000. Start thinking bigger. Start taking more actions to get to that outcome, all right? So that's the answer to that question. If you want me to break it down further, if you got specific questions on that, leave it in the comments below, and I got you. Next question somebody asked me was, how much should you pay yourself? And then also, when do you switch from a single member LLC to actually to a S-Corp? All right, so I'm going to answer the first part of it first. Well, how much do you pay yourself? As least as you possibly can, but and also enough to pay your own personal bills, right? So one, you should have a personal budget anyway, all right? So if you ain't got a personal budget, get one. Pull up Google Sheets. On one side, list all of your expenses, right? On another side, list all of your income. And then just write it out. Okay, all my expenses added up each month come up to what, $5 grand. All right, let's say $5 grand. Then if you put it all on the income side, you say, okay, bam, I got this job and this side hustle business, right? And then that total comes to $7 grand. All right, that's your income. All right, bam. So now all you know is you got to make at least $7 grand a month from your business to pay this $5 grand a month in expenses, right? Plus you got a little you want a little wiggle room there. So whatever your expenses is, just make sure you pay enough, make enough to pay yourself that. All right. Once you paid yourself that, let's just say your business is already doing $50K per month, and your bills is only $5 to $7 grand per month. Okay, well, put yourself on salary for less than $5 to $7 grand first of all. So what I would do is, at this point, you know what you got to make, and usually, so according to the tax people that I follow, and I forget if I could remember the name of the guy, I would shout him out and all that. But anyway, because he got a YouTube channel with us, 2 guys. I think it's Mark Collier, I think, but I might be wrong. But anyway, and then there's also Dennis something Dennis. But anyway, I know Carla Dennis, and then her son, Carla Dennis, is on YouTube as well, and then her son is somebody else Dennis, but I forget his name. But both of them are good. And then there's a white guy, I think it's Mark Collier, but they actually collaborate on channels together here on YouTube. So, but anyway, what they have advised me and what I've seen to work as I implement it is usually when you're about 60 grand, paying yourself a salary about 60 grand. If you see that your business, let's just say you're a single member LLC, and currently the way you're paying yourself is everything that comes in. My God, I'm sweating bullets out here. My bad, y'all. I ain't got no wood in the house that I wanted to record at. But anyway, when you're a single member LLC, everything that comes into the business, right? You pay all your business expenses, and then anything left over for profit, you usually just transfer it to your personal account, and that's what you get paid, right? But as you get to that point where it's like, all right, bam, you actually netting 60 grand per year, that means it's time to switch over to that S-Corp so you can start saving on taxes. So what I would say do is, bam, instead of paying yourself that whole 60 grand left over on salary, what you could do is put yourself on salary for like maybe 25, 30,000 a year. And that's your set salary that you're getting on as a W-2 employee of your own company. Then the rest of the 60 that you was gonna pay yourself, you pay yourself that in owner draw. The same way you were doing owner draws before you got on salary and became an S-Corp. You're just gonna do owner draws, but it's just gonna be maybe 60% of that is gonna be owner draw, and the rest of it will be put on salary. I'm not a tax accounting. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax advisor. None of that. This is just me talking from my business experience. All right, and I'm not telling you to do this. This is just what I'm saying I think works for me, and this is somebody asked me my opinion on this, so this is my opinion on this. This is not financial advice, all right? But anyway, so bam, put yourself on salary once you get about 60 grand a year in profit from your business, and that's what you're paying yourself, all right? Bam. So that's when you switch it from the S-Corp. And then again, like I was saying, how much do you pay yourself? It just determines on how much you need to pay your personal expenses. Obviously, try to keep your personal expenses as low as possible as you're growing this business in the beginning, and then as you start to grow the business, eventually you can start to raise that salary more. But hopefully that answers that question enough. All right, next one, the last one I got here was what can be written off on business taxes. Everything. to put it simply, anything that your company spends money on is a tax write-off 9 times out of 10. Now, what isn't a tax write-off that your business pays for is a loan. Now, you can write off the interest from a loan, but you can't write off the actual loan payment itself. All right, but any interest from a loan payment, you can write off. Also, I believe with a car lease, I'm not sure if you can. I can't remember how it is for a lease as well as for financing an auto. I believe you can write off an entire lease for if it's leased through the business. But when it comes to a auto loan, I believe you can only write off the auto interest. But I could be mixing that up. So if somebody know in the comments, definitely leave that comment and get the correct information out of there. But y'all asked me my opinion, so I'm just giving it to you, right? Definitely check the facts, because you asked me tax questions. I'm not a tax person, right? But based on my experience, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. All right, and then, but to answer that question again, to make sure it's very clear, almost pretty much anything is a tax deduction. So the way it works for businesses is everything, you're only taxed on income after expenses when you're a business, right? Or you're an entrepreneur. So for example, when you go to work, if you got a W-2 job and you go to work, you get taxed first and then they give you your money. When you in entrepreneurship, whether you're 1099, whether you're a big S-Corp, whatever the case may be, businesses pay taxes last instead of first. So employees pay taxes first, businesses pay taxes last. So what that means is, if you go out today and you meet somebody for lunch and you pay for that meal with your business credit card, guess what? Your business debit card, guess what? That's tax deductible. All right. If you go out and you buy a phone for your company, that's a business tax deduction. If you pay your company's phone bill, that's a business tax deduction. If you put gas in your car to go to something business related, that's a business tax deduction. Anything you have to do to operate your business, 9 times out of 10, is tax deductible, okay? And so just make sure you're using that business debit or credit card to make sure that is actually being tracked. And you can usually use an accounting software like QuickBooks or WaveApps.com and write those things off on your taxes, okay? But pretty much almost everything that you do is going to be tax deductible. Obviously, you don't want to abuse it, and don't just be swiping to pay for stuff and say, "Ooh, well, that's a tax deduction," because let's be clear, tax deductions do not pay you. We trying to make money. Tax deductions can help you save money on taxes, but they don't give you money. A tax credit can give you money, right? But tax deductions just deduct what you owe. So if you made 10 grand this year and you swiped for 5,000 in expenses, then that takes 5,000 off of what you're going to get taxed on, and now you only get taxed on 5 grand versus the 10 grand because you swiped first, and you got to pay taxes after expenses. All right. So hopefully that makes sense for you. And again, that's overgeneralized. Obviously, if you get into actual tax laws, there's certain things that you cannot deduct, but most things you can. And then there's also certain things that actually give you a tax credit, and certain things you can only deduct partial and not the whole expense. So I'm not a tax expert. Look to a tax expert for stuff like that. But generally speaking, everything that you pay for pretty much for the business is going to be deducted off of your gross, off of that income, the revenue that you made before they tax you. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm AJ Simmons. If you like what you heard, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And by the way, if you in business, I'm the guy to follow. I've been doing this for a long time. Ask your questions, ask me whatever you want. I'm here just to help y'all. And if you ain't in business yet, you're thinking about starting one, go check out cleanbusinessnetwork.com. I own that company. We help you start cleaning companies. We also, if you're already in a business, we help you grow your cleaning business as well. So check it out. We got software, CRM software, help you set up all type of automations and stuff. Help you keep track of all your customers, all your leads. And speaking of leads, we also have a lead generation service. I told you about that, where we'll get you appointments with commercial cleaning companies. With commercial cleaning opportunities with businesses in your area. You just tell us where you're located at. We'll call businesses in that area and set appointments for you to go meet with them and close the deal, y'all. So thank y'all for watching. Check out cleanbusinessnetwork.com. I'm AJ Simmons. Thank y'all.